Hi, my name is Senior Master Sergeant John Willoughby, evaluator loadmaster with the 301st Airlift Squadron at Travis Air Force Base. I've been a loadmaster for 27 years and approximately 10,300 hours total, with about 6,500 of them being on the C-17 Globemaster III. I was out on scheduled to leave on a mission on day one of OAR, unbeknown at the time, but we were getting ready to leave Travis, had engines running, had a little minor maintenance issue with one of the engines, so we shut them down. Maintenance looked at it, came up with a quick diagnostics of the problem, said it'd be about an hour to fix it. No big deal, these things happen. However, within that hour time frame, our mission was canceled and we were retasked for OAR to go pick up Army troops and equipment back in Fort Campbell and then take them to Dover Air Force Base and then give up the aircraft to another crew to keep the cargo and troops moving toward the theater of operations. And now at this time, we're all going, well, I wonder what's going on. So of course, wanting to know what's going on, we all looked at our cell phones and Googled what's going on today and said, oh, the president has just ordered 3,000 additional troops from Fort Bragg and Fort Campbell to go help beef up security at Kabul International Airport, being that it was being encircled by the Taliban forces and threatening to be overrun. And I said, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're involved in this now. So it took a few hours to launch out of here, out of Travis, about 4 hours approximately, due to command and control, getting a plan together since everything was a new contingency, just started right then. Like I said, to come up with a good plan and to get us on the road. So we arrived there and there's several other C-17s on the ground. It's at nighttime, it's hot, it's humid, but you can tell there's a lot going on. And it's like, looks like things are getting real here. With that being said, a few minutes later, a couple of Master Sergeant Loadmasters from AMC came on board and said, hey, here's what you're doing. Do you guys need any help? And I said, big thing is I need this cargo expedited out to this aircraft as soon as possible. I got 2 hours, 10 minutes to be airborne. And they're like, okay, it'll be here in 4 minutes. Well, it was there in 2 minutes and done safely, but there was a lot of motivation in the air. There was to get things moving in the right direction quickly in a safe manner, but and we were able to do it with about 5 minutes to spare. Arrived at Dover Air Force Base, met another C-17 crew from there, and gave them a quick brief on what we had on the airplane as far as cargo, passengers, and the maintenance status of the aircraft. We grabbed our bags, got off the airplane. They got on, continued mission to get these this cargo and Army personnel who were going to Kabul International Airport to help provide additional security there. It was imperative that those assets got there in a timely manner, and we helped make that happen. And it was actually a pretty proud moment. It's like, yeah, this is real. It's time to get going. As being Loadmaster Superintendent, we sent several crews over to the operation, and we got together with other scheduling NCOs. And what we did, we paired off. We didn't want to put two more experienced Loadmasters. That's our normal crew complement is two Loadmasters. Didn't want to put two new Loadmasters together and two more experienced, so we mixed and matched there. So it's a good balance of training and experience. And all of them are very well trained, that I can say, because I oversaw every one of them's training. And they're all veterans. They've all been downrange before, some obviously more than others, but no, they're professionals. They do a great job, and they were motivated and gung-ho and ready to go do the job that they're being requested to go do. Well, in 27 years of being a loadmaster, 10 of them on the C5 and 17 of them on the C17. This was a completely, and backtrack on that for a moment. I flew on C5s in the '03 invasion of Iraq, and then converted to C17s in 2005, and then continued to fly in Iraq, and then expanded that into Afghanistan, and personally have flown over 200 combat missions. But this was a total new dynamic environment, something that we hadn't seen before, being that going into an airfield that's basically surrounded by the enemy. So it's a whole new tactical environment, and obviously the threats were high, so there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknown. But we briefed the crews going out the road, briefed them up on tactics, be more vigilant. Well, you have a metal floor with tie-down rings down there that are essentially designed to hook a chain to and chain down a vehicle, say perhaps a Humvee or a 5-ton truck or things like that. So it's an open floor. So with that being said, people, they came in the front, the rear of the aircraft, came all the way up to the front and made a line across and sat down, and a strap was run across their laps, a cargo strap. That's basically their seatbelt. And then the next group would come in behind them and jamming them in as many as they could, all the way to the back part, rear portion of the aircraft, with the exception of the ramp, because that's, once it's raised up, it's at a slope and you would just slide down that. So that's not a viable option. But yeah, it's sitting on an uncomfortable steel floor for, probably about a 4-hour flight back to the Middle East, whether it's Qatar or Kuwait or any other locations they went to. But in all actuality, those people were on there a lot longer than that, because there were so many airplanes coming in and out of Afghanistan and overwhelming these locations. Sometimes the aircraft had to circle over the field for a couple of hours, waiting for a parking space after they landed. And then at times, from when I was briefed, they'd get to a parking spot and leave the engines running to keep the air conditioner going, because waiting for buses to show up to transport these people off to the aircraft to a facility where they were going to go, most likely a hangar probably. But being that it was in August in the Middle East, the temperatures can hit 125, 130 degrees in the day. They had to keep the engines running, keep the air conditioner going, or there was a good chance there would have been a lot of heat stroke, heat exhaustion, potentially people even dying on the airplane from the heat. Every time they flew in there, it was something new, from what I've been briefed on them, as far as how many people they could put on. Another problem that they encountered was communicating with the passengers. Hey, sit down. I know on a couple of crews they had an interpreter with a bullhorn on the plane, and they said that was a game changer right there, because that individual spoke the language, could tell the people to sit down, don't get up, and that made life easier for them. But on many of the missions, they did not have that opportunity or have that asset. It ranged from 250 to around 450 people on some of our missions. And like I said earlier, it depended on how many adults there were, how many kids. They fit as many people as they could every time to get all those people out there who were trying to get out and needed to get out. And there was also the timeline crunch, because we had till the end of August. After that, it's game over. The operation's over. There is no September. C-17 special for this mission. Well, it can land on short airfields. We're all trained on night vision goggles, because at the time there were no runway lights there, so they were flying in basically blacked out with night vision goggles on, with just a couple of lights on the airfield. So we have that asset to enhance our abilities to get into austere airfields. And the airplane is very maintenance reliable. Maintenance reliability means it launches, say if it's 95% of the time the airplane's going to launch, only 5% of them will break down. So one thing that would not have been would have been to have an abandoned aircraft there. So with the reliability, that helps out huge. anytime, anywhere. Oh, I don't have any doubts about the C-17. It's a wonderful aircraft, and I'll say that. I'm on my 18th year of flying on it now. I have a ton of faith in it, put it that way, and it's very reliable. It's very operator friendly, and it's just a great aircraft to crew on, and it does its job great for this country. Well, so far as the training is, we're constantly training. Take example, a brand new aircrew member goes to be a pilot or a loadmaster, goes to Altus, Oklahoma for about 3 months of formal schooling, where they actually do fly several times at the school, and then they come to the unit, get more on-the-job training. We call it seasoning. And that usually ranges for about 6 to 8 months. For both pilots and loadmasters, and then they go, as reservists, go back to their civilian jobs. There's some who elect to stay on, do it full time. So the guys the crews are very well trained, and we have a robust training in our unit, flying and ground training that's continuous throughout the year. So and plus you get flight evaluation every 17 months. I have all the faith in their training in the world. And we would know if they were slipping up in their training. Now, as far as this mission shaping future events, I think it's huge. I could see floor loading passengers for another worldwide event. Definitely, I could see that happening via whether it's an airport that's being overrun by an enemy force, or say, for example, if a place was hit by a typhoon or a tsunami or something like that of that nature, a natural disaster, that could definitely be another time where that might be utilized.